Hello, world. I'm Farsight, and welcome or welcome back to Techtonica. Here we are, back at the abandoned base behind X-Ray. I worked my way down from the top. It took all day, but I got a whole bunch of parts out of it. And when I got down to the bottom, there was something that happened in there. We're going to want to go through that in real time. And when I was done, I ended up with box after box after box of stuff. And a lot of it was parts, but most of it was limestone. And limestone we can make into cement, and cement we can make into concrete, which is what we want. Because each one of these boxes has 500 limestone in it. And there were a lot of them. Now, while I was over here, I was running through these boxes, and hidden behind them was that red thing. I probably could have just scanned all of this stuff down and left the red thing there, but I wanted you to get the context of where it was. And while I'm scanning, I'll just finish off scanning some of this stuff before I look at the red thing.
Hold on. This thing looks completely out of place. Sir, any idea?
No. In fact, it appears to have been concealed within the structure. Proceed with scanning.
Okay, so we scan it.
Attention, this is an emergency recording. Speaker identities have been obscured pending executive order of the assembled Nations Council.
The place beneath Sector Victor is not like what we are now calling Sector Zulu does not and could not have been discovered until our survey of Victor was complete. But it has no resources. Apart from some unusual ruins, the first evidence of in Sector Alpha, there is nothing to the expedition. Accordingly, you will undertake into the absence of anything file it in our logs as an unremarkable mineral survey. What should I file if I do file? File nothing. I will find you.
Seems like some kind of surveillance recording? Was that Pacific? Talking to some groundbreaker about a secret solo mission below the sector?
The distortion was very heavy, but yes, Pacific seems likely. Disturbing that this mission was classified. And even more so that this conversation seems to have been recorded secretly.
Agreed. Breaker, keep an eye out for more of these.
So we have uncovered something. I've been thinking while I was tearing down that base, what I could do up here at the X-ray environment. We still have some exploring to do, but we have just a huge amount of limestone on us. And this may be the limestone that theoretically came when they dug out this whole volume here where we put the building, but it's a lot. So I'm going to want to turn this limestone into concrete. And the easiest way to do that is just to make a whole bunch of individual lines, each one starting with one of these boxes. And let's see, F9 has this nice 5x5 floor. I put 3 of the 5x5 floors down. Let's put 4 down and trim the one off the end there. I think we can just line our boxes up. We'll fill each one of these with limestone. We're going to need a second set of them. I think I'm going to build vertically at this point. So let's see, a vertical piece. Did I have one? I did. I left one in F8. I'm going to put it right there. And then we're going to put 3 more of these pieces across. I think this is high enough. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it's high enough to fit assemblers and thrashers under. We're not going to build the assembly lines right now, but I'm certainly going to lay out the boxes that are going to have the inputs. So we don't have actually 10 boxes. We've only got 9, well, 8 and a fraction of a box. I could do 2 sets of 4 and have some just left on me. And that satisfies my soul's crying out for symmetry. Let's leave a box here of other stuff that we don't want to carry. We are going to head back to the main base, because we're going to be building a base up here. I don't really want to be having to build all of the base building parts from all of my normal parts here, like inserters and belts and so on. But I've got a whole bunch at the main base. We also need to go back to the base to drop the core composer and the research cores and get science going. It's stalled out. It has apparently filled up the cavern that I had it set to fill. We're going to leave all of our base building things here, all the new concrete parts. I'm going to carry my metal stairs, but not my big metal stairs. And all the rest of this just stays behind. What else do I want to leave here? I do not need to carry that. I'm going to make some more of my coolant. Do not need to carry, well, let's leave the iron behind, but not yet. So, I may need to dig, so let's pop some coolant down. And now we can leave everything else behind because that's all we're going to make on the way. And going to leave the intermediates behind. This is just a quick run to the base, honest. So this box is full. Is there anything here I'd rather carry than dirt? Yeah. I'm going to bringing back some more shiverthorn seeds. That's not enough for a farm. I might end up building Kindlevine up here, so I'll bring back the Kindlevine and shiverthorn seeds. I'll carry those on me. Actually, I'm not sure all the places I'm going to put down various farms, so let's just keep those on me. Okay, so we are load lightened. We have our limestone dropped here where we're going to be building it. We have some exploration to do down and over from here. So down we've got a cavern, and over we've got whatever that is. It's probably another abandoned base. I'm probably going to be spending time scanning more parts down. Let's leave more lights. I tend to take the lights up when I'm not coming back and leave the lights when I do. So let's leave lights. I'll leave a light at the opening here. So this has been a fine little base. It has a couple of flaws. It is turning out some cement, and we are turning out some steel ingots. This has the flaw that I am not containerizing the ore. It also has the flaw that I need 2 smelters to keep up with it, but we have turned out enough steel. So we're just going to leave this alone. If I start reworking this base, I'm going to be here for a couple of hours. What I want to do is actually design the base. And I think from what I've looked at, Shiverthorn instead of a Kindlevine is going to turn out a lot of plant matter. Just 2 Shiverthorn planters is going to be quite a lot. Enough to power, I think, a line of copper, a line of iron, and a line of steel, which would be enough stuff up in this area for me to make the fancy base building parts. On the other hand, we could just do cement, steel charges, mining charges, and finish up the base. I do need to get some Kindlevine extract going at some point, which is going to be another thresher, so that I can make mining charges, or since we're going back down to the base, I will just pick up some of the huge amounts of Kindlevine extract I have, and we will bring it back. Base is not actually far. Hey, let's drop some lights on the way down. This light is actually a scan light. So this is where we came in, next to this little green blob. I'm going to leave these lights here because we've got more of the green stuff, more Atlantium. So we're almost ready to upgrade X-ray. So from the freight elevator, it was not that river. That river goes down to the research center. It was this guy. And he dumps out into the hydro area. This is where I will have my science center. The more I think about it, the more I like the idea of having my science center just dropping science right up that area. I intend to rebuild this and turn this entire area into power. So power with the core composers on top. I don't know, maybe Victor ends up being where I centralize all of my iron and copper and steel. If I need steel for anything other than the things we're doing at X-ray. So X-ray can have its own supplies of copper, iron, and steel, as long as I keep the quantities low. So here we are back at main base. And if I look up, I can see that, yes, we have reached the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put down the other core composer. Let's put that on F6. It needs to go right in that corner there. This will have fed additional purple science nodes into the composer, which the composer can't handle yet. So first of all, I'm going to put this down all the way back. Like that. I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of base parts. And we have a big backlog of science. Oh, it's not that big. Okay. We'll just let this go. The other thing is we obviously don't need that. We do need to move parts from the guy on the right to the guy on the left. He's got some sitting there. And we have a box, or we will have a box, where I'm going to put all of these guys. We've got some blue ones, we're going to include those. In fact, let's even do it faster. There we go. So 40, 80, 100, so we're doing 160 per minute from there. That'll empty that out real quick. We have our science coming in from here. We have iron and copper. And apparently we stopped making fuel. So why did we stop making fuel? Well, our planters are idle because our thresher can't thresh because his output is backed up. His output is backed up because this guy, so we were not consuming the shiverthorn extract. I'll move the whole box, and I'm going to take 3 of them. So because we weren't consuming the extract, it couldn't produce more plant matter. And the plant matter is what drove everything else. What else have we got going on? Well, Victor is ready to go. Let's upgrade Victor. Hey, Victor. So he was fed his ingots and his processor units and his atlantium. Before I upgrade him, I want to turn off the automatic insertion of stuff. We'll probably end up just turning it on, but I always want control over this. Upgrade terminal. So his next upgrade is going to require iron frames, copper frames, processor units, conveyor belt Mark II, and atlantium ingots. So I have a bunch of automation to do before we can get to there.
Terminal upgraded. New technologies and recommended tasks available.
All right, Breaker. You've learned how to get Atlantum the fun and easy way with explosives. Now you have to actually do something with it. Our smelters weren't built to burn it, so turning that ore into ingots won't be as simple as iron and copper. Start by threshing it into a powder. You'll also need to start supplying the production terminal with power from accumulators. See that big plug on the side of it? Yeah, a high voltage cable goes right in there with a voltage stepper on the other end. And make sure the stepper is on a floor with a good power network behind it. Try to find some time to explore it too. You've got more tools now to open some of the doors we've been finding signals for. Places where people might be trapped.
So long term, I think that it is at this stage of Victor where the science is going to get moved from here. What if I stop the science? I need to pull down all of this and move it out to the hydroelectric area. So how much science? We have 271 science. What did we just open up? We have started opening up more and more things that require blue science. So we will need to automate blue science out at the hydroelectric area. And we have the Atlantum stuff. We are not yet using BioBrick as our fuel. We need to shift over to that. And when we do, it will be 25% denser than it was. It was 40. This means I believe that each BioBrick now has 50 fuel energy. I'm going to open up basically everything I can. Can I open up Mark II belts and fast inserters? Yes, I can. So that uses up all but one of the cores that we've placed. We still have some miscellaneous things. We could do a few more cores. So I will leave this going for now. knowing that when we tear this down, we'll have all the cores and we can feed some of those cores into blue science production if we want to. I'm not sure whether we'll continue to need purple cores or not. We may very well want to do blue and purple balanced out against each other for a while. For construction, it's all blue. Okay. Now X-ray, we've got the second series. We're going to be able to open that up fairly soon. So I have picked up all of my stuff. This line went nowhere. We're going to get rid of it. The processor line and copper line, all of these can be pruned. We'll do that off camera. So we've got a lot more here to do at Victor before we're done. And it's going to involve mainly pulling things down and then rebuilding to automate processor units and Atlantum ingots. I need a miner that can mine Atlantum ingots. Conveyor belt Mark II, iron frames and copper frames and get its power hooked up. I think to mine Atlantum, that was mining drill Mark II. So I need to have my blue science automated before I think about it. So my next job is to get blue science going at the hydropower area as far as this priority list is going. And monorails, of course, because we're going to start shipping stuff around by monorail. So we will do the iron and copper here. I seem to remember we had nice amounts of iron and copper available at Hydro, so we could do copper and iron there. We do need to bring the Atlantum ingots down to Victor and feed it to Victor, but there's not many of them. We could hand carry those 200. Let's not think in terms of a big monorail setup yet. But what all do I have in my inventory? I just basically picked up everything. So we have some Kindlevine seeds and some Shiverthorn seeds ready to build the farms. I need to make more mining charges so that I can do X-rays thing. Let's start off with that. So I need Kindlevine extract. But we have a lot of Kindlevine extract. And I need, what else? Plant matter fiber, Shiverthorn, and Kindlevine extract. So Shiverthorn's another one that we have a lot of. My base is kind of awkward to get around, isn't it? And plant matter fiber. Oh, we've got a lot of plant matter frames coming out, more than we need probably. Did I? Yes, I repurposed all of my plant matter fiber. Didn't I? Well, this guy isn't running because I turned him off. So we're going to have to wait while we make more Kindlevine. So this guy is making plant matter frames go into processors. This guy is making plant matter frames to go nowhere. I'm going to fill that. Whoops. So that was one of the rules that we violated, is that we got rid of all of our little plant matter fiber things. So I literally can't make more explosives without that. Lesson learned. So from now on, I'm not going to start just getting rid of something unless I can keep a full box of it somewhere for later. Oh boy. So we're not going to be able to finish up X-ray until I've got the plant matter fiber, which is going to be coming out soon, I hope. Oh, that's right. I have to wait for these guys to do their 2-minute cycle, and then this guy will start turning out the plant matter, the stems. And I am splitting it 3 ways, so the stems are going to be picked up immediately by the threshers. I do like the music. I gotta say, I like the music in this game. Now, early on, when I was looking at doing Techtonica, I thought I was going to have to do some radical cutting of the footage. So I'd take a whole bunch of just gameplay footage, and then I'd have to splice stuff out, and I'd end up with 5 or 10 seconds at a time, and it really wouldn't work out very well. Because it would cause the soundtrack to get all messed up. I don't like that. Hold on. So I have a copy of the soundtrack. I was going to record the game without soundtrack, chop it up in little bits and pieces, and splice it all together, and then put the soundtrack back in underneath. And then I realized that I didn't have to do that. I could arrange my gameplay so that I can record these longer sessions, let the game soundtrack fall as it may, and then I don't have to worry about picking the right track. Are we there yet? But it does mean that I end up vamping a lot. So we've got this going. Yay, frames. I'm hoping that I stalled for... Hold on. These guys are turning out 30 per minute each. 90 per minute. These guys want 60. Oh. Yeah. So this means that 2/3 of my fiber will go into this machine. We're going to get 60 per minute, so he's going to turn out 15 per minute. So he's going to be running at half speed. That's okay. Look how many processors we have. And we're not using processors in Victor anymore. In reality, at this point, I don't even need the processors automated. I will leave them automated because I just have to rebuild this if I need them for any of the stuff up there. But yeah, no need to use up all of our fiber. But 162, 182, getting close. So how much does this need? This needs 2 fiber per mine. What I really want to do is I want to get back to X-ray and be able to fill it in. going to do is cut here. I'm going to let things come back to stable again. And going to think ahead and consider what to do. And I will see you in the next one.